Welcome back, everyone. Today we're continuing to work on the Challenger, but first of all I want to thank you guys for all the comments in the previous video with helping us out to decide what we're going to do with this. It was a toss-up 50-50 whether to leave it as is, just plain paint, and then a whole bunch of different types of graphics. So I think we're going to do something right in between. Otherwise, let's see what we got in store for us in this episode. We are going to start doing the mud work, putting filler on there, putting filler on the back quarter, on the sail panel, and also we are going to continue to make this a lot better, nice and pretty. Once we have everything where we're happy with it, we're going to throw some primer on there and block it out. So let's get to work. Alright, so now that we got our filler done, I'm going to throw some primer on there, let it dry overnight, and tomorrow we'll start blocking it out. Alright, this apron, this all turned out real good. We got the primer on there, we welded it back in, so that looks good. These areas where we welded, you're not going to really see these, but we are still going to go over all this with seam sealer. That way it'll prevent it from any water getting in there or rusting, and then we'll just paint over the seam sealer. And once we get the seam sealer on there, we are going to go ahead and start cleaning this car to get rid of all the dust that we've created from when we were sanding the car. And once we get all that dust out of there, get the car nice and clean, we'll start prepping it for paint. Alright, so now that we got the area all cleaned up, we got the car, all the paper on there that we're going to put on there. All that's left is just the plastic. Once we get the plastic on there, we are going to start getting ready to get some paint on there. Got the seam sealer all along there to seal up all the welds that we did. this part here, we just decided to just do separate completely, just because it's going to be too big of a pain to get all this taped up like the way it is right now. So we're going to just worry about the car right now and getting the underside of the hood. Alright, so I'm going to get some plastic on there and start going at it. Alright, now that we've got the plastic on there, we're going to go ahead and cut everything off that needs to be painted, tape the rest to the car, to the paper, and once we're done with that, we'll start going over it with the wax and grease remover. Alright, so everything's all nice and taped up. I'm going to go over it real good with the wax and grease remover. Get rid of any last of anything that might have got contaminated while we're taping it up. Maybe we touched it with our hands or elbow or anything else like that. Basically get the last of the grease or anything that could mess with our paint job. We got the whole car wax and grease removed, getting ready to do the base coat, but we had a couple of firsts here for us. It was our first time ever replacing a roof on it, and it'll also be my first time painting a roof. And I'm starting to think I should have painted the roof, taped it up, and then painted the side of the car, but we'll see what happens. Let's give it a try. Alright, ready to mix up some paint. This one mixes 2 to 1. This Metalox is a little bit thicker, so I reduced it a little bit more, and it's black, so we're going to reduce it a little bit more than that. Alright, it's pretty hot, so we're going to use a slow reducer. That way it gives me enough time to overlap the paint and everything, and that way it lays down nice and even for me. We got about half a cup. We're just going to use that up, and then if we need more, we'll mix some more. Alright, now we're going over it with the tack cloth. Get rid of any lint or anything that the rag might have left behind on the wax and grease remover. Alright, so we're going to start with the roof and then work our way around the car. shop the next day. Everything turned out good except for a couple of things, but let's take a look at what happened with this. The roof, I was the most worried about it. It turned out real good. Actually really happy with the roof. I mean, we did wind up getting some trash, but for the most part you can see everything turned out real nice. Bodywork turned out good. But what happened is we wound up getting a waterfall. Wound up getting a big nasty run here. And the reason was because one, I think I don't have enough light in here to see. The other reason that this happened is that I had just a tiny little dry spot here, and I decided to put more clear on it, and as you can see, it turned out nice. But as I put more clear on here, all the overspray went and kept on making it dry further down, so I kept on going further down, and it just wasn't dry enough where I built up the clear, and it ran here and it ran there. So, but besides the two huge runs, overall I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, especially it being black. Otherwise, so we're going to end it for this series here. Make sure you guys catch our next episode. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and make sure you catch that next episode, because I picked up a new trick or heard something, and most likely to get rid of that run, you got to repaint it. So we're going to try this new thing, and make sure you catch that next video to see what we try and see if it works. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next video.